What is up, everybody? We are back to Wolf Tales. If you'd like to see more of this content, please leave a like, comment, and or subscribe. I believe I'm about like halfway done, as far as I know. But anyways, let's get started into it, and I might start bringing you a little bit longer episodes on Wolf Tales just to get us through the game. Anyways, let's load back the game. All right, so. Uh-oh. Sorry, I looked at the wrong one. It was this one. Yes. There we go. Alright, we were just watching VHSs with the two girls, and Mamari was kind of interested about the city. So, let's see, what should we do? Let's go ahead and appease her curiosity. Maybe she wants to know about the city. The city is convenient, but it's not that great to actually live there. Joe, you grew up in a city like that? Yeah, kinda. Maybe not as quite as busy as that one though. What was it like? Tell me. Hey, princess. They gone back to the grass area now. There are cute animals and everything. Few tries to unsuccessfully grab Mari's attention. Now that the video has moved away from the human civilization, Mari's focus is solely on yours truly. Fine. Fuyu? In a huff, Fuyu mimics my actions from earlier and clumsily mashes the remote control until she succeeds in turning the television off. Fuyu, what's wrong? Nothing! Fuyu pouts as Mirai finally glances towards her. Sensing what's going on, I decide to put Fuyu out of her misery. I suppose it's getting rather late. We can continue watching the video some other time. For now, let's all go to bed. But I wanted to talk about human civilization. Oh, good idea, human. Or rather, that's exactly what I was thinking. Come here, Hime, let's go to sleep. Okay, if you insist. Good night, Joe. Good night, Mari. Good night, Fuyu. Good. Oyasumi. Without further complaint, Mariah curls up on the couch alongside Fuyu. Fuyu joins her and snuggles up close, as if making up for their distance a moment ago. Content to leave the duo just like that, I retreat to my bedroom and head to bed myself. Having napped for a while yesterday evening, I wake up earlier than usual this morning. Long before my largely unnecessary alarm clock can wake me up, I rise from my bed and begin to stretch. Unfortunately, even though I woken up early, there's no reason for me to be awake at this time. It isn't yet warm enough to work, and there's no time-sensitive activities in my list of things to do. All I've done is deny myself a sleep in. I guess I'll go check on the girls. Maybe they have something they want to do this morning. I walk in the living room, half expecting to see Mariah cooking and Fuyu sitting on the floor behind her impatiently. Surprising, however. The two wolf girls have yet to waken. Huh? Looks like I'm first to wake up. I guess they're too comfortable to move, the way that they are now. Watching over the two for a moment, a smile naturally begins to creep on my face. Mariah and Fuyu are snuggled together, sharing another's body warmth, wrestling on each other's fur, and generally finding pleasure in being with the other. If not for the cuteness of the actions, I'd probably be jealous. What am I thinking? This is nothing to be jealous of. In fact, I should be thinking of ways to get rid of them, even one day sooner. It's for their sake and mine that we have to go our separate ways as soon as possible. Man, what's with my character? Just seriously. Everyone knows that humans and half-elves aren't supposed to get involved with one another. We're too different, and having one try to integrate into society of the other will only result in pain for both sides. Over the years, many cautionary tales have been told regarding human and half-humans getting along. Humans feeding starving half-humans only to become their dessert. Half-humans seeking refuge in human homes, then ultimately slaughtering their families within and stealing their shelter. There have been cases of mass killings on both sides, starting with nothing more than subtle differences in the way of life. In hindsight, I've taken a pretty substantial risk of taking a half-elf, or sorry, not half-elf, half-wolf, a member of one of the most aggressive and bestial races to my home. So I wonder if there's other humans out there, like not just wolves. That being said, looking at the site, at these two right now, it's pretty hard to imagine either one of them turning on them. Hell, Mirari acts more human than most people I've ever known, and she certainly knows her way around the kitchen better than I do. That's sexist. Speaking of which, prying myself away from the adorable sight, I walk to the storeroom in search of something easy to cook for breakfast. When I start to prod around the storeroom, however, I quickly realize something important. Oh man, where did all the food go? I thought I had enough to last till summer. I know these two eat a lot more than I do, but we shouldn't have gone through that much food already. Perplexed, I scratch my head. It's possible that Mirari had moved the rest of the supplies when she was cleaning up, but without knowing where she moved them to, it does me little good. I guess I'll go make a trip into town after all. I was hoping to pull this off until summer, but in a way, this might be for the best. A more up-to-date map would be helpful, after all, and I do need to gather information about the recent changes of the terrain. Off to town I go then. Without dawdling any further, I grab my keys and head to the side of the house. Then I jump in my trunk and turn on truck. Then I turn on the key. Turn the key. Ugh. Then I start up to rev up the engine. Come on, you stupid thing. It hasn't been that long since I drove you. I continue to rev the engine and attempt to warm up the truck. Unfortunately, my efforts seem to result in nothing but an increased level of noise. Come on, you good for nothing. Huh? Arf! Arf! Stay away from the princess, yo! The hell? I turn towards the house and find that I've only woken my guests. Rather than address me personally, however, the two girls seem fixated on my truck. Fuyu, look, it has Joe. It does too. Give him back, beast. I'll cut you open with my claws if I have to. Be careful, Fuyu. We don't know what it's capable of. Don't worry, princess. I've got this. Fuyu slowly approaches, her hair standing on end, her claws are ready by her sides, and her teeth are bared. I'll help too. We're coming for you, Joe. Right behind her, Mari steps forwardly warily. Armed with the frying pan from the kitchen, Mari looks like a frightened housewife rather than a wolf. Nonetheless, she comes forth bravely, ready to fight my truck for the sake of freeing the person trapped within. Girls, please stop that. I'm sorry I scared you, but I'm fine, really. And Fuyu, you see my truck before, remember? I can still hear the human speak from its belly. Joe must still be okay. Yeah, but not for long. We need to get him out of there before the beast finishes digesting him. How do we do that? Do you know how to fight this thing? No, but I wager it's no different from fighting any other beast. Tear its throat out with your teeth and it'll die. Tear it. I couldn't possibly. Don't worry, Hime, I'll do it. No, don't do it either. Just go back to the cabin, okay? This hunk of junk is nothing for you to get worked up about. For you? Don't listen, princess. This beast is mimicking Joe's voice, so we can let each other's guards down. As soon as we turn our backs, it'll pounce. Beep. For the love of. Before Fuyu can scratch the paint on my truck, I turn the engine off and hop out. Look, I keep telling you I'm fine. Whoa! Joe! Thank goodness you're alright, I was so scared. I heard the ferocious rumbling the moment I woke up, then I came out to see what it was, and the beast have already eaten you whole. I thought it were too late, that you... I exhale deeply and I place my hand on Mari's head. There, it's okay. This thing's nothing to be worried about. But Joe... Ha! Is it truly dead? Mari's face buried in my chest. I watch in amazement as Fuyu continues to cautiously poke my truck with her claws. Fuyu, you don't need to do that. It's a machine, like the kettle or the television. It's not gonna hurt you. Like I believe that. This creature has already devoured your hull once, and if it isn't dead, then what can stop it from doing it again? I scratch my head in confusion as I try to think of a way to explain to Fuyu how vehicles work. Given your reaction to the noise and commotion it's generated so far, however, it might be easier said than done. Forget it. You know what? I tamed it. I tamed the beast. It's under my control now. It won't harm anyone ever again. Oh, I see. Amazing! I suspected of Joe. They won't accept that it's a machine, but they bought it that explanation straight away. Good grief. Already far more exhausted than I should be, given the time of day, I sigh once more and walk the girls back inside. Oop. Sorry, I clicked too fast. Oh no. I'm sorry. I don't know how to go back. I have enough canned food to last us 3 winters, even taking into account Fuyu's appetite. I also bought a new map and some rechargeable batteries from the radio. Oh, so I did go back to town. Who wants to help me unload the truck? Preferably without attacking it. Girls? I enter the cabin and surprised to find it both quiet and empty. As I walk through the cabin, I soon hear the sound of someone talking, though I can't make out what they're saying. Girls? That's why I'm telling you, we need to go now! What do you think this is gonna happen if we keep wasting our time here? Do you think our mother is gonna live forever? She'll just keep on doing your duty for you? I know, it isn't fair for my mother. I know I should return, if only for her sake, but what? You rather hang out here playing housewife with some human? What's wrong with that? I like it here, okay? I enjoy human culture far more than our own. There's no hunting or sacrificing of the weak, no fighting over food or warmth or constant power struggles. Why shouldn't I stay here? What does our pack have to offer that's so special? It isn't about what the pack can offer you, it's about what you can offer the pack. Vote for me. Vote for you. Vote for America. Can expect you to lead them just as your father did before you and your mother is doing right now. What are you going to do, let them all down just because of your own selfishness? Why shouldn't I? I'm sick and tired of being everyone's princess and being held on some kind of pedestal because of who my father was. I don't want to be a leader. I just want everyone to keep saying I'll be the next pack leader. Oh, just because everyone's saying I'll be the next pack leader doesn't make it true. All I want to do is live out my days in peace, like a human. Whoopsh. The sound of clatter dies down in an instant. All that can be heard throughout the cabin is the echo of Fuyu's palm striking Rai's cheek. Unsure whether I should step in or not, I remain frozen on the spot, watching silently to see who will make the first move. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for letting you all down like this, but my mind is made up. I will not return to the pack. Fine. Have it your way, princess. We'll be better off without a selfish human sympathizer like you leading us anyways. Fuyu pushes Mari and heads toward the door. Without saying another word, Mari rubs her cheek, quietly fighting back the tears as she tries to remain strong. So I can either comfort Mari or follow Fuyu. I don't know the endings of this game yet, but there might be multiple endings where one I probably end up following Fuyu and one I probably with Marari. Or maybe there's even a third one. Maybe there's even an ending where like I go to the wolf culture and I become one of them or something. I don't know. But let's go ahead and save right here because this seems like an important decision to choose between the two girls. So I'll go ahead and send that there. For this playthrough, I think I'm gonna go. I like Fuyu a lot, but I'm gonna go for Mirai just because like she's like the main girl, you know. Maybe I'll do like a second quick playthrough where I go back and change my choice if that's all the choice I need to make or something. But yeah, let's comfort Mirai. Once Fuyu has left the cabin, I make my presence known. I walk straight over to Mari and kneel down in front of her, bringing my face to her level as she sits on the couch and quietly sobs. Joe, how long were you? Long enough. Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. No, it's nothing you need to be apologized for. This is your home. You have a right to hear any conversations which take place within these walls. Mari straightens her back and looks at me as she talks, but soon she begins to slouch forward. Even if my presence is a welcome distraction, it isn't enough to make her forget about her worries. So, that fight you and Fuyu just had, it's not a fight. Mari speaks forcefully and shakes her head. We're simply reaffirming one another's positions. That conversation was long overdue. I see. Do your conversations normally end with Fuyu hitting you? Marley immediately opens her mouth and denies my claim, but instead finds herself without words. Whether she cares to admit it or not, Mariah's conversation with Fuyu didn't end well. So, you saw that. I could have heard it from outside. Why didn't you defend yourself? Having a difference of opinion is one thing, but getting physical is a bit much, even for Fuyu. No, you're wrong. Even if Fuyu had left lacerations all over my face, it still wouldn't be anywhere near enough to punish me for what I've done. You mean for running away from home? Even so, then I still think it's still rather extreme. Even if Fuyu's mad about you leaving her behind, that's no reason to get physical. Besides, you wouldn't have to go along with everyone else expects you to do just because you don't want to let them down. No one gets to tell you how to live. You have to make your own life decisions, even if other people don't agree with them. And boy, they still disagree with you. My ears are still ringing from the chiding I got from that I announced that I'd be moving out here. Thank you so much for your kind words, Joe, but I'm afraid my situation isn't so simple. And all the people affected by my decisions, Fuyu is the one person to whom I'll never be able to speak about this matter on equal ground. Mari lets out a soft sigh, then looks up at my face. Do you remember how I told you about Fuyu being a runt, and her family going to great lengths in order to rejoin the pack after raising all of her own? The way I see it, Fuyu's family have already gone through so much just because of my parents. They were forced to choose between the pack and their only daughter, and they were exiled, and then they were made to servile once in their return. Despite being treated so poorly, Fuyu's family have abided by the laws of the pack in every step of the way. They work harder than any other member of the pack, and they're willing to do anything to ensure survival, and not once have they spoken ill of my parents. And yet, Mari casts her gaze downwards once more, and she begins to grasp at the hem of her dress. Those people who were once exiled have done everything in their power to make our pack what it is today. On the other hand, I, their daughter, the current previous pack leaders, want nothing more than to leave it all behind. Everything they'd been through, everything they endured, it was all for something I now want to discard. When I think about it like that, I can't begin to imagine how Fuyu must feel. For someone like me who has handled everything in life, so to willing to throw away everything that she and her family have worked hard to protect. If I were in Fuyu's place, a mere slap wouldn't even begin to convey my error. Mari fight back's tears as her hand begins to tremble. Despite her resolution to leave the pack, she understands all too well what her departure means for those who left behind. She feels guilty for putting her own happiness first. I feel like that must have been hard for you. It's kind of like distant a little bit. Like, oh, that must have been hard for you. But to say I understand, it's like I'm probably going to tell her my own experience and we'll connect in that way. But I hope that doesn't mess things up. I'll save at each choice, guys, so we can go back. I understand that feeling. I see. It's a difficult situation to be in, but I believe it or not, I understand your feelings better than you think. My feelings? No, but Fuyu's the one. Mari stops mid-sentence as I suddenly sit beside her and place my hand over hers. Mari, you're a good friend for thinking about Fuyu's feelings to this degree. There are plenty of people in this world who would just have left their friends and family behind without giving it a second thought. In that regard, you've already done right by Fuyu. But you know, even if you're worried about Fuyu's feelings, you can't let her happiness trample all over your own. Nothing good will come from you forcing yourself to take over your own parents. You won't be happy, the pack won't be happy, and Fuyu definitely won't be happy. Right now, you're probably thinking that caving into the demands would be the easiest way to make everything turn out okay. You're thinking that if you gave up your own dreams and stopped being selfish, then everyone would be happy. But you know, reality is never that kind. Mari peers at my face silently as I continue to speak. Even if she can't bring herself to agree with everything I'm saying, she's at least willing to hear me out to the end. Mari, do you know why I live out here? All alone in the middle of nowhere, far away from the nearest human settlement. If I recall correctly, you said previously because you don't get along with others. That's the short version of it, yeah, but the truth is, it's a bit more complicated than that. You see, I touched a toddler once in an inappropriate way, and I need to really hide, and also murdered their parents. And their body is still in the storage cabin. You know, I did tell you to bury them like on the first day, but you still haven't done that. You see, before I moved out here, I was in a situation similar to yours. Not as far as being a princess and becoming a pack leader are concerned, but in terms of my parents' deaths and legacy, my parents always wanted me to take over the family business as their eldest son. They are naturally assured that I would follow in their footsteps. They trained me up, made me work for them part-time through high school and college, and tried to micromanage every aspect of my life. I'd make it well into my teens without a single shred of my enjoyment or free time to have for myself. My life was lived all according to their whims. But when time came for me to take over, as directed at their will, I finally realized something. What they wanted me to do didn't matter. They couldn't make me do what they're bidding anymore. My parents are dead. Anything I do or don't do doesn't matter to them in the slightest. The only person whose life decisions will shape is my own. And if I'm going to live my life, I'm going to do it my way. Coming to that conclusion, I sold my family business despite the protests of my relatives, and I got the hell out of there as quickly as I could. I moved out here away from everyone and everything, and despite the hardships of living out here, I can honestly say I've never been happier. For the first time in my life, I'm free. My decisions are my own. My schedule is my own, and there's no one around to tell me what I can't or can't do. I take a deep breath and finally finish talking. Talking about myself at lengths that has tired me out, but going by the smile on Mari's lips, it seems that I have had the desired effect. That's an amazing story, Joe. I don't quite understand everything you said, but from what I gather, our situations are actually quite similar. And while it might be insensitive for me to say this, in light of your family situation, I'm glad to hear that we are alike. Mari leans in my shoulder, resting more and more her body weight on me as she continues to settle down. Rather than respond to my story verbally, bringing up her talk with Fuyu once more, Mari seems content to let me to sit beside me, resting on my arm. And for the time being, I'm happy to do the same. I realize that her problems won't vanish after a single talk. Her relationship with Fuyu won't naturally become less complicated, and the matter of leading the pack isn't going to resolve itself. But for now, as long as it's just the two of us sitting here side by side, those matters all seem like problems for another day. Once Fuyu has returned to the cabin, it takes no time at all for the two girls to wake me up. With Fuyu taking the lead, both girls are soon in tears, apologizing to one another and wishing to make amends. I watch on in relief, glad to see the dear friends in good terms once more. Maybe the fight wasn't as bad as it sounded. Either that or this isn't the first time they had that particular fight. In the case, whatever the case, I'm glad those two are getting along again. Joe. I look down as Mirai leaves Fuyu's side and suddenly addresses me. Yes, Mirai? I just wanted you to thank you one more time. Thank me? For what? I didn't do anything. You two make up all on your own. Mirai shakes her head. Not that. Perhaps I should say, not just that. Joe, you've done so much for us, all without asking for a thing in return. That got me thinking, maybe there's something I can do after all. Oh, okay then. I thought cooking and cleaning has already counted as a pretty nice thank you, but what do you have in mind? Mirai and Fuyu look at one another, then nod in agreement. You'll see soon enough. Grab a thick coat. We'd hate for you to freeze to death on the way over. Are they going to take us to a den? Ooh, new scenery. Dressed in a thick coat, I follow the girls outside and head down the path they previously attempted to take home. From that moment, we leave the cabin. Mirai is smiling ear to ear. Even Fuyu can't completely contain her excitement. Wherever we're going, it must be somewhere pretty special. We killed a bird! How much further? It isn't far from now, Joe. Just hang in there a little while longer. Yeah, don't collapse us now. What kind of man are you? One who's already spent enough time outside today. If you have the energy to retort, you should be fine. Don't worry. It really is only a short walk from here. Any second now and we'll be able to... Ah, there it is. Mirai jumps down and on the spot while pointing towards the mountain. I strain my eyes to see what she's so excited about, but all I can see is a hole in the side of the mountain. What is it? A cave? Not just any cave. Yes, it's the one we found inside the cave that's matter. Inside the cave, huh? You better not be leading me to a bear's den or something. Of course not. Don't be silly, Joe. Yeah, bears are all hibernating at this time of year anyways. So even if we wanted to get rid of you, luring into a bear's den would be a poor way to do it. It worries me that you seem to have given some thought on this. Oh, token pole. Despite my apprehension, I follow the girls to the mouth of the cave. After spending a short time walking through the cave, the temperature begins to rise to the point where I feel comfortable taking my coat off. Finally, we near the cave's innermost part. I understand what the girls wanted to show me. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna have to actually censor that. Woo! We got somewhere, guys. We got to the reward. We got to the boobage. We got to the tits. Woo! Okay. Well, anyways, I did not expect that. Did not see that coming. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay tuned. Please leave likes, comments, and subscribe. And see you guys there. Bye.